best of 7. The Golden State Warriors, the 7 seeds. Only 2-2 is their record. You see this starting 5 before this series resumes. So a big one tonight. Butler matched up with Van Vliet.
And we saw the start. Van Vliet was on Draymond Green. They got the switch to get Jimmy Butler into that matchup on Van Vliet. They placed Şengün on Moses Moody.
This is where you start to see the matchup start to prevail in a series, in a best of 7. You get one game in, and then all the changes these coaches make as Amen Thompson opens up the scoring here tonight.
Well, that's a great pass off the dribble by Jalen Green and a tremendous cut.
He hopes there's not just that little natural let-up when you take game 1 on the road in a best of 7.
Yeah, I've seen it many times. You get that first game, and you just don't have, it's not that you don't play hard, you just don't have the same focus and sense of urgency because you feel like you've already done your job.
Rockets turn it over. Podziemski running the break, and Moody fouled by just 7 points. You see, Stan only had
the Şengün, and they need to make them pay for that matchup.
Here's Jalen Green. Rockets need a big night from him, and that's a good start. Green, just 7 points in game 1. Knocks down a triple.
Had an assist on the first play, so all 5 points he's had a hand in here to start. You see the physicality here of the Rockets.
Butler backs down Brooks. Those two wearing microphones for us tonight. That's going to be a fun listen, I think. I don't know if we have enough beep buttons for those two, but we'll try. Excellent defensive stand. And now Şengün going to work, drops it off, and a foul, and time all-star. And Thompson knocks down the
shooter. A guy who's not a real stretch shooter like Amen Thompson is you tend to relax on the weak side because it's...
Here's Curry, comes around the screen, buries the 3.
Well, that's the one screen, though. Moses Moody, very important as a screener. Not used to that role, but a great screen right there to get Curry free.
Green misses his first chance. We'll watch and see if Moody on those screens goes out beyond the line. He pops versus rolls. That's a big part of the story, too, for the Şengün with a rebound. Dillon Brooks, guarded by Butler. And Brooks, a little turnaround. Good.
That's a tough. One of the better running teams in the league. Houston got only 4 fast break points in game 1.
Podziemski driving, trying to put some spin on it, missed it. Rockets want to push. Both teams great in transition. Green drops it off. Thompson with a two-handed jam.
Same cut.
Steve Kerr wanted Moses Moody to let it fly, and he lets it fly and knocks in a 3.
I think both coaches probably pretty happy with how their teams have opened this game. They're seeing a lot of the things that they talked about. Jimmy Butler on Şengün tonight. Draymond Green's got to do a better job of Thompson on the cuts.
Şengün goes to the basket. Help from Green. Now late clock here, and Moody locks him up in the corner.
That on Brooks doesn't give him a chance to get a shot up.
Again, Brooks on Jimmy Butler. Curry turns the corner, drives, kicks. Draymond Green for 3, comes up short.
But again, Curry able to get in the lane because of a great screen away from the ball by Moses Moody. Şengün is not going to switch.
Draymond Green. Green on Green inside the Şengün. He is athletic than the Warriors, and now they got to travel.
Curry won. Draymond Green did a great job.
Well, remember the Memphis Grizzlies, very physical. Matter of fact, cost Gary Payton the rest of those playoffs. Warriors would go on and win the championship, matching up against the Celtics that year in the finals against Ime Udoka's Celtics. Van Vliet guarding Butler. Shot clock down to 7.
Manipulated to get to that matchup twice already.
Podziemski rises up. The lefty missed it. We got to keep an eye on Brandon Podziemski tonight. He is severely under the weather. Has hardly practiced the last 2 days. He came over to the table before the game, said he thought it was a serious bout of food poisoning, but he is not quite 100%. Şengün, offensive board, sets up Green, and Şengün's got another offensive board. This time Green drives. Draymond Green knocked it out of his hands. And the Rockets get a chance here. Brooks turnaround, no good. And it is Butler who secures.
But now some of those guys have that first experience under their belt. And then Thompson also told me, any chance I can get, I try to follow and talk to Fred, DB, read their emotions throughout the game. So if they're calm, there's no reason for me not to be calm too.
Good stuff, Lauren. Thank you. Got a turnover by the Warriors. Games when they were all together.
Team.
Keep an eye here on Brandon Podziemski. Right, and I don't know how to put him in there. See if the adrenaline can take hold. But a sluggish start to threes here in this first quarter. And 6 minutes into this game, Moody much more aggressive shooting the basketball. That's a three down for Tari Eason. First minutes on the floor. Eason out of LSU buries a triple in the corner. Getting some early minutes here in the first quarter. Rockets lead by 8. And that's going to be a foul.
But he's absolutely right. They were the other night in game 1 grabbing and holding Curry on every possession.
Making it tough on Curry. Jalen Green. As much bounce as you get. Actually, Curry got a hand on that. And now they did grab possession. They restart the shot clock. Gary Payton II forces a Rockets turnover.
One of the best guys in the league getting loose balls. Moses Moody again shooting the three with Sengun sagging off. He's got to take that shot consistently in this series.
Inside, Sengun with Green guarding, and he stepped on the baseline.
To make that pass difficult, Quentin Post didn't have it there, but Draymond Green did a fantastic job.
Just those 3 made baskets for the Warriors. 2 of those pays off. Game 3 will be in San Francisco at Chase Center. Season, the Rockets were last in the playoffs. They had a few years down at the bottom of the standings. Ime Udoka gets the job last year. They finished 500, and then this year, 52 wins. Nice setup inside as Sengun.
Another one of those great, versatile European big men, Sengun.
Gary Payton II is clutching at his right shoulder. That's been the last 5 years for the Rockets since their playoff run in 2020. It was a mess the year after the 2020 season when they
nerved by it right now. Very upset at the officiating as Sengun, he hit a 3 the other night, but he's really struggled from 3. Hadn't made one since the middle of March until the other night.
Shoots it at just 23% from beyond the arc. Butler back on the floor and drives and scores on Tari Eason.
And he thought he got fouled there. The Warriors have to be careful, though. Steve Kerr irate right now. We saw it with the Knicks in the Detroit series the other night. They got so wrapped up in the officiating. I thought it took away with it and play the game.
Tell you, Jalen Green gives you an idea what kind of talent he is. Curry with a 3-pointer, no good. Jabari Smith, first minutes on the floor for him. Third-year man out of Auburn.
And Fred VanVleet got knocked down on that rebound. We should keep track of knockouts or knockdowns tonight like they do in
We can do.
This is a very physical series. How do you maintain continuity and rhythm with the amount of physicality that's out there tonight?
Yeah, Houston's a great defense, very physical team, so that's a big part of the equation in this series. We got to handle it.
We appreciate it.
Pat Spencer lays it in. That's part of Steve Kerr's plan here. He's in full ad-lib mode now. This is a Warriors team that Stan used so many different lineups and combinations prior to Jimmy Butler arriving. So this is not new for them, but it's also not something they've had to deal with in a while. And if you're just joining us, Jimmy Butler took a hard spill, landed on his backside, and has gone to the Warriors locker room. Lauren is back there awaiting a report as Dillon Brooks hits a tough shot. And Green throws it.
Steph Curry back in the game doing less rest, but he has a little margin for error. Both teams, by the way, open in this quarter in zone defense.
Turnover, Golden State. So some housekeeping here. Post and Adams got double techs. And then a common foul on Dillon Brooks in that last sequence. Third foul on Brooks. You got Sengun and Adams on the floor, the 2 bigs, and Kuminga able to force the turnover.
Yeah, the Adams Sengun double big lineup was dominant during the regular season when they played for Houston, but And they create another turnover here. But the other night, the Warriors outscored them by 4 in their 11 minutes in the game. Did you see what they did in the regular season?
Van Vliet can't get it to go. Back tap.
At Houston. And we see the Rockets back in this zone. They get it stitched they can against the zone. And then Şengün all the way out. Good look for Hield.
Van Vliet in transition. And Şengün patient. Missed it. Ball is loose. Volleyball's in. Tari Eason raising his hand. He said, make sure you give me those 2 points.
Well, that's Rockets basketball right there.
Spencer drives. Puts up a wild shot. Too much size in there.
Well, the Warriors right now are a little out of balance. Their offense revolves around Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. Neither one in the game. These guys all have different roles to play.
Rockets already plus 12 in the rebounding category, and Şengün gets it.
Not a lineup he ever anticipated having on the floor. But look, with Houston's only shooting 42%, they're 2 for 9 from 3, and they have 6 turnovers. But this is how Houston wins.
Post.
With their defense and rebound. Golden State has defensive rebounds. This is Houston Rockets basketball.
Ime Udoka basketball as well. He brought that toughness when he arrived here prior to last season. Got this team back to 500, then a terrific year this year. That guy's in the regular season this year. Big run at home this season. They won 14 of their last 18 home games in the regular season. They hadn't had more than 14 home wins overall in any of the last 3 seasons. They had that great run to finish the year, and they need a home win tonight to even up this series in 1 apiece. And Green
Houston Rockets, which was absolutely dominant in the regular season, was not in game 1, but it's taken over here in game 2.
Tari Eason, oh, what a start he's off to the lead. Eason, it's his second 3. Lauren Jabara has an update for us momentarily on Butler as Kuminga drives in, turn around, no good. Take it away, Lauren, what do you have?
Yeah, just heard from the Warriors PR staff, things getting worse for the Warriors right now. Jimmy Butler with a pelvis contusion will not return to the game tonight.
That's big news. Thank you, Lauren. Good hustle there. Saw Mike Dunleavy walking out of that Warriors locker room as well. Jabari Smith for 3, missed it, and Draymond Green with a rebound.
It's going to be tough for the Warriors, obviously, to get back into this game.
Well, this could be Kuminga's night, at least to knock some rust off and get some points on the board. He has not played in a while. He's been out of the rotation. Pat Spencer getting minutes. Kuminga his first minutes. Remember, there are 2 days off before they resume in this series on Saturday. Şengün lost the handle. And Curry out of the pack. Spencer all the way in, lays it up and in with the left hand.
Great finish, and Draymond.
Rockets lead is 15. Rockets only scored 34 points in the first half in game 1, already with 40. Şengün can't get that one to go.
That one was lucky by the Warriors. I think you've got to meet Şengün earlier and with some physicality.
Post to the basket. Oh! Met by with an illness. Played just 8 minutes and did not score. Was 0 for 3. Curry guarded by Eason. And now Spencer gets in the paint and scores it.
How about Pat Spencer coming in and giving them 6 points on 3 for 4. He took the one wild shot, but working to get to the rim and trying to help this Warrior team stay in the game.
And a 7-0 run here for Golden State. After the Rockets led by 20, Van Vliet gets Kuminga on his back. So savage.
Shot today, but 4 for 20 in the series.
Toronto Raptors in 2019. And you look Steven Adams. I mean, you want some grit, some toughness to surround these talented young players. And they hit it right up. Pat Spencer running with Looney. Spencer will take it himself. Looney there with a follow.
Well, Looney, one of the best offensive rebounder and total rebounds in the league per minute. But that was created by Pat Spencer. He's got 3 buckets, but his drive drew the help and set up Looney. Improved his shooting this year. That was a career high. He had a
Tap for more.
well, that Nuggets Clippers series that we had the best series going. Overtime in game 1, a Denver win and a 3-point Clipper win on an incredible night from Kawhi Leonard in game 2.
Yeah, Kawhi had 39 points on just 19 field goal attempts. Only missed 3 shots. Here's Kuminga out, 3-pointer, no good, and Adams up high for the rebound. Rockets up 15 points, under 5 minutes in this second quarter.
Ime Udoka going right back to that 2-big lineup that was so dominant in the regular season.
Green, step back 3, got it! Up and over Looney. Couple of days, very sluggish game 1. Nice pass by Curry to Keith Santos.
Well, that's incredible. Curry around Steven Adams in the blitz. Steven Adams not having quite the lateral quickness to keep up. And then a left-handed pass off the dribble to Keith Santos on a great baseline cut.
Right in the pocket too, right where Santos wanted. Again, Green, step back on its way, no good. Spencer with a rebound. You see how shifty Jalen Green is. What an athlete. Warriors get into their set here. Under 4 minutes to go. Santos thought about it. Remembered he's got Curry on the floor. And now Curry goes to work and can't get the roll. Looney is there for the rebound. Spencer for 3. Oh, he called glass.
He hit in from above the free throw line on a 3-point shot. You have to call it or the referee waves it off.
9 points in the quarter for Pat Spencer. Just got converted off his 2-way contract in March as Şengün
About himself, and we do too, every night.
On Steven Adams, which you can do.
can think of right now. Jimmy Butler out of this game, will not return. And that one's in.
Away from the ball intentionally like that.
Santos and Looney cuts, and Looney is found. Jabara from the Warriors locker room. What do you have, Lauren?
Thanks, B. I talked to Steve Kerr, and he said, look, I think the main thing is we just have to throw a lot of bodies at them. Obviously, make up for the loss of Jimmy and Brandon Podziemski.
Posed to get the starts for the Warriors in the second half, joining Curry, Green, and Moody. Foul on the first possession. Now Jalen Green, he's been a big story, and Green knocks down a 3. And coach, he's got 18. That's his 4th made 3-pointer.
And that is a great pass cross court from Alperen Şengün.
Jalen Green in 30-plus minutes had just 7 points. Did not make a 3, was 0 for 4 in game 1. He has responded in a big way here in game 2. Payton in the corner, missed it, and there's Van Vliet with a rebound.
Now Moody passed up a 3, in my opinion, should have shot.
Jalen Green, back iron, bouncing rebound to Curry. Post, he can shoot it, sets up in transition, no good. And an offensive rebound by Payton. Şengün out on Moody. Green looking for Curry. No, he finds Payton. Extra pass out to Post. Missed another 3. Moody and Şengün grappling at Şengün with the rebound. That's his 8th.
Well, Post has had 2 really good looks. The Warriors are going to have a chance. Guys like him have to knock down open shots.
Houston trying to even up this series at 1 apiece as they go to San Francisco for game 3 Saturday. And Green taking over. He's got 19 now.
He's got 19, and the Rockets lead by 19.
I beg your pardon, he's got 20. I shortchanged him 1. 20 points in 19 minutes for Jalen Green. Payton guarded by Brooks, who had 3 fouls in the first half. Brooks with the block.
Brooks will probably be an all-defensive team guy.
Defensive Player of the Year will be announced tomorrow. Draymond Green is one of the finalists. Gives him a little offense in the corner.
Well, if you remember that last game of the regular season, that Clipper game that went to overtime, Draymond Green hit 4 threes in that game, 4 for 6. Hasn't shot it well as the year's gone on from 3, but certainly capable.
Şengün. And that extra pass to Brooks in the corner. Curry. 11 first half points for Curry. No look out to Moody. And Moody misses that one. So Moses Moody Now 2 for 4 from beyond the arc. Came out early, was firing, hit a couple of threes in the first quarter. Has not made one since. Be interested to see what Steve Kerr does. You heard Lauren mention he's got to go deeper into his rotation. He played 12 guys in the first half. We saw a lot of Pat Spencer and Jonathan Kuminga getting his first minutes of the playoffs. Curry, a little hesitation. Curry with 13. He's hit 3 threes.
And he's also got 4 rebounds and 6 assists.
Van Vliet to the corner. Amen Thompson, who picked up those 3 fouls early, and now Van Vliet on the reset, no good. Şengün is there with a follow
for Alperen Şengün.
We'll see how the Warriors can regroup with personnel. Jimmy Butler will not return. Butler's going to get an MRI tomorrow on that tailbone, as Lauren reported. 3-pointer by Post.
The Warriors go to their zone. It starts by looking like a 1-3-1. Moody's actually the guy who will come out as the second guard in the zone, but he starts at the free throw line.
Here's Brooks, catch and shoot, missed it. And that's good on court. Clearly the underdog right now, but you got that guy. Curry misses a 3. Thompson flying high for the rebound. And then Thompson gives it up. Brooks takes Post in the paint and scores it. Shooter's touch.
Okay. That was a nice touch. I don't know if I'd say shooter's touch with Dillon Brooks. And I love the guy as a player, but shooter's touch, not so sure.
Curry did not get the shooter's touch on that leg. Wow, look at that Euro. And now Brooks for 3.
He's had 2 or more three-pointers in 9 straight games.
Hey, he shot at 39.7% from three-point range this year, as
29% from 3 after coming up.
Before the game, if it was an illness, he goes, no, I think I got a bad meal and I'm trying to recover from it. Here's Post for 3, cash.
But you got cut, set the screen on Şengün, and got Post wide open, and Post knocked it in.
Post, the rookie, playing his first playoff series. Thompson, no good. Şengün, offensive rebound. And it's going to be Eason. He's met at the rim. Post and Draymond Green. Green got the block.
And Draymond Green had something to say about it to Tari Eason.
Podziemski, short. Jalen Green with a rebound. Eason drives, kicks. Jalen Green got it on. Big shot.
Oh, Draymond Green had him. He knows he should have stayed out on Jalen Green. Not happy with himself.
5 threes for Jalen Green. 8 in the quarter for Jalen Green. Podziemski, full mid-range, missed it. Podziemski coming on, trying to give it all he's got here, but he is now 0 for 5.
Oh, nice adjustment there by Ime Udoka. Put Şengün on Kuminga instead of Quentin Post.
Green had it perfectly online, just too strong. Kuminga. Jalen Green on him. A couple of high-level athletes going at it here. Kuminga gets inside, missed it. And that's, at one point, had a 20-point lead. They have led the entire way here in game 2.
Well, Ime Udoka just throwing a lot of lineups with this Warrior team as Jalen Green scores. We've seen the 2 bigs together, and now we see no bigs on the floor.
Green's got 25 as Kuminga hits a 3.
Jabari Smith is the center. Interestingly, I think Udoka goes to this lineup to try to take away threes, knowing that's the Warriors' way to fight back. Can switch all the screens with this lineup.
Post now guarding Jalen Green. Green dancing with him. Green gonna have to shoot over him. Little fadeaway is short, and Draymond Green with a rebound, and that's gonna be a foul on Eason Podziemski. But David Guthrie, Courtney Kirkland, and Sean Corbin.
Yeah, well, you know, when you're getting into this kind of hand-to-hand combat, you want guys who have been through these battles.
Rockets lead by 13. After the tee, that's on the deck, and saved by Green. Here goes Eason, taking on all comers, and he lays it in.
Just averaging 12 or more points.
Kuminga throws it up.
Told me it's been amazing. Him and Ausar haven't played on the same night, so they've been each other's biggest supporters, but it has to be an incredible experience for the Thompson family all around, guys.
Yeah, what are the odds? And Amin was the 4th pick, Ausar the 5th pick. Not only do they share a birthday, they share a middle name, and it's 4 letters. It is XLNC, which is pronounced excellence. I like that. You're setting a standard early.
You set it early, and they're living up to it. I'll tell you what. Amin in the top 20 in the NBA in rebounding, steals, and blocks.
Rockets with the number 2 seed this year, and Warriors turn it over. First possession of this 4th quarter. Warriors got it to 11. And then the Rockets with a burst at the end of that 3rd quarter. Jalen Green with a highlight dunk and a 3-pointer. Rockets lead is 16. Late clock here, down to 2, and Brooks in traffic. And Brooks' little turnaround jumper is good.
Lineup again with Steven Adams and Alperen Şengün.
Draymond Green misses the 3. Şengün rips down the rebound. 13 boards for Şengün to go along with 15 points. He's got 5 assists as well. Adams in the center of the wheel now. And Brooks driving, stripped by Post. Warriors down 18, running out of answers here in game 2. They'll resume Saturday for game 3 at Chase Center.
Well, here's the problem. The Warriors had problems in the non-Curry minutes early in the year when they were under 500. Jimmy Butler took those problems away because they had a guy to go to. Now we're seeing them again without Curry and no Jimmy Butler. Very, very different.
Podziemski has played ill tonight, and at one point left the floor, came back in the 3rd quarter. He's on the floor now trying to give it a go. Brooks' story tonight for Houston. Just 85 points in game 1.
Well, here's the other thing that changed, though, and Jimmy Butler had a lot to do with it. Only 8 turnovers so far tonight for Houston after 17 in game 1. Jimmy Butler had 5 steals in that game. Very disruptive defender. He hasn't been part of it. The Warriors defense, while still solid tonight, has not been able to force turnovers.
VanVleet driving, gets some space, up and over post. Shooter's touch, coach.
There it was.
On a 12-3 run since that Ime Udoka timeout.
They don't get back into it because Green and Curry, especially older guys, doesn't want anybody else to get banged up. They don't make a run here in the next couple minutes. I think you'll see those guys on the bench.
Curry with a steal. Curry driving behind the back. VanVleet almost picked him. Surrounded by Rockets. And that extra pass in the corner, and Post hits a 3-pointer.
Quentin Post now with 9. He and Pat Spencer, who hasn't even played in the second half, are the 2nd leading scorers here. Curry, the only guy in double figures for the Warriors.
Spencer came on, gave him a quick 9 points. Brooks down inside, taking on Curry. Curry the rebound. Hield finds Moody. Moody in all kind of traffic and able to lay it in. Patient.
Game 1.
Rockets fans, we have a dog. Let's hear you make some noise. The louder you are, the higher clutch the rise, and the more t-shirts you'll get. We need to see everybody on your feet. It's time for the Toyota Tundra T-shirt time.
time. Ime. Post. Shooter's touch. Post.
What?
Rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds. And fun fact for him, guys, he has the same routine every single game.
Most.
There you go. Food and a nap.
Late clock here and a turnover for the Rockets. By the way, Green, first Rocket to score 30 since James Harden in a playoff game. Of course, that was the last time the Rockets were in the playoffs in the bubble. Harden had 30 against the Lakers that year. And playoff game.
And what a great draft pick by Mike Dunleavy. We haven't talked a lot about him, but made that Jimmy Butler trade without giving up any of his young guys. And then the draft picks there of Podziemski a year ago, Quentin Post this year. I mean, incredible.
Post fouls.
Not take Quentin Post out of the play, nor did he take him down. So it's a non-call instead.
Şengün secures it.
Wow, that could have very well been a backcourt violation. I don't know where Şengün's feet were, but if he caught that in the front court, and now it's going to be
Offensive foul on Jalen Green.
and we've said technical, and so they missed.
1 out of 2. Here we go. I tell you, it felt like Houston was a couple of baskets, maybe a little 6-0 run from putting this game away. Now the Warriors are back in it with Curry on the floor. Draymond Green for 3, missed it. Jalen Green with a rebound.
A great Rockets defense. Their rotations were excellent. Getting out on the corner 3, and instead of a Moody corner or a Buddy Hield corner 3, they get a Draymond Green long 3. Those are the little things that hold down a team's efficiency.
Strong move to the basket by Amen Thompson. That stops a 9-0
midcourt to talk to them about keeping their poise in this game.
game here. 6.5 to go. Curry in and out. Green rebound. Post. He's been hot. He fires. Missed that one. Şengün clears it away.
Still a lot of time in this game now.
Houston looking for a finishing kick here to even this series. Step back 3. Green got it. Jalen Green. What a night
For the Warriors, though, Post going on to him. I think they would have been better off blitzing that one, making the ball go back to Brooks. You're on your home floor. You cannot go down 2-0. That's only happened 35 times in NBA history. And the team that goes up 2-0 has won 30 of those series.
Here's Brooks driving, leaves it up. Thompson hangs and is fouled. Thompson misses.
That he will is as a shooter. 3 for 4 today. He's out there for this stuff. His defense is rebounding, his energy, and
Turnover. Green lays it in. And that might just do it.
Dylan Brooks very upset about the game. I mean, we've seen it many times. 18 with 5 minutes to go. There's plenty of time, especially when you have a Steph Curry on the floor.
I saw him score 17 points in a 5-minute overtime in Portland once. Friday, Celtics and Magic, Lakers and Wolves, and then Rockets finish business here. This one figures to be an excellent series as it goes back to Chase Center in San Francisco Saturday.
Well, yeah, if the Rockets hang on tonight, you're going to have 3 of the 4 Western Conference series knotted up at 1-1.
Wolves, Lakers. Lakers had a nice answer after the Wolves won game 1. And Jalen Green just stacking them up tonight. Back to a 20-point Houston lead.
Holy cow. That is 38 for Jalen Green.
And 8 made threes for Green. Moses Moody connects on a 3-pointer on the other end.
I think Moses Moody has to do that the rest of the series. If they're going to play Sengun on him, he's got to willingly shoot the three every single time he's open. The guy is a 37% three-point shooter, and he's got time to set his feet and get him off in rhythm.
Brooks guarding Santos, Curry, and now it's Looney to Kuminga, who drives and lays it in.
Well, a rare time they switched Sengun out on the post split onto Curry. That's what opened up Looney on the split.
Well, Jalen Green is the Rockets headliner tonight. But the story of this game and the postscript will be the health of Jimmy Butler. Nice lead by...
And he's got the extra day to recover, which is a good thing for the Warriors.
That's Spencer good.
Spencer's had a good year in limited minutes with the Warriors. When they've needed him to step up, he has. We've seen the steals and the quick hands. We've seen him make threes. We've seen him post. This is one of the most versatile big men in the game. We see a lot of these guys now coming over from Europe. An outstanding offensive player.
17 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals for Sengun. Stat-stuffing machine here tonight. Kevin Knox misses a 3. Got Braxton Key on the floor as well. Knox with the offensive rebound. Kuminga getting some extended minutes tonight. Minus Jimmy Butler, 23 minutes. And it'll end up being 25 minutes for Kuminga.
And I love what Ime Udoka's doing. Taking no chances right here and keeping his starters on the floor. I think he'll sub now after that three-pointer and they go back up 20. But he did not pull the plug quickly. When you get a win in the playoffs and you've got one there, you make sure you finish it out.
Well, let's recognize this moment, too, for Houston.
I mean, the game's so physical right now. We got Courtney Kirkland running over
taking a foul.
VanVleet.
Coach, the last playoff win in this building for the Houston Rockets, May 6, 2019. And Matt Maloney of the late 90s with the 8 made threes tonight.
Maloney's dad, a great college coach.
Rockets' last playoff victory in this building came against the Warriors back in that 2019 playoffs. Again, they were in the playoffs in 2020, but that was in the bubble in Orlando.
Trayce Jackson-Davis, who lost his spot in the rotation, gets a tip in there. One of the best offensive rebounders in the league, 10th per minute in the NBA.
Reed Shepherd, the rookie out of Kentucky. Cam Whitmore drives Met at the apex. And Jackson-Davis on the run out, leads it up top. Kuminga at the line. By the way, great to see Jeff Green as well in year 17 and a champion with the Nuggets back in 2023. 38 years young, running with the Young Bucks here to finish this game as we go under a minute. Jalen Green, a record-setting performance. Ties a Rocket playoff record with 8 threes. Houston with a big answer tonight. And they're going to even this series in 1 game apiece. It's been a very familiar playoff matchup, Warriors and Rockets. They met 4 times in a 5-year window from 2015 to 2019. Warriors won all 4 of those. 2 of those years for Golden State were championship seasons. But this is a new Rockets team. And they are going to San Francisco, all even at 1 apiece. And now all these young Rockets players experiencing the playoffs for the first time will experience a road game at Chase Center.
The most important people in the Warriors organization right game, so they go in there with the confidence that they can go into Chase Center and win.